What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got a lovely new level 6 yellow Digimon that we need to be having just a little bit of a chat about. It is Clavis Angemon. It has been revealed on the official Twitter this morning, and of course a massive shout out to the lovely Jason Snowjacks, who not only brings us our translations, and we love him for that, but brings them like super quickly. Always on the ball. That makes me rather happy. So what do we get? Well, we got a level 6, which is a 12 cost to play normally, which honestly is a bit more expensive than average. A 3 cost to play normally, which is what the vast majority of level 6s have. And 10,000 power, which is a little bit low. We generally expect level 6s to be 11 cost to play normally, 11,000 power. So, when you're bringing me one that's a 12 cost to play normally, 10,000 power, I'm going to want a little bit of an explanation. I'm going to want to know why. Well, the good news is we've actually got a pretty good skill here. When you attack, when your security is 3 or less, lower one of your opponent's Digimon's power by 6,000 for this turn. And I love this. Let's be clear, I love this. But I'm worried it's a little bit too situational. Now, of course, some of you, and I very much am among you here, are going to want to draw some parallels to the starter deck Seraphimon, one of the very first level 6 yellow cards we ever actually saw. Because the level 6 Seraphimon in the starter deck, again, was a 12 cost to play normally, 10,000 power, so we didn't know it at the time, but not amazing stats. And when you attack, you choose one of your opponent's Digimon and lower its power by 4,000 for the turn. So the question essentially is waiting until you've got 3 security or less worth it to get the extra 2,000 power reduction? Because if all you want to do is just lower power and 4,000 will do, there is absolutely no reason to play this over Seraphimon. Yes, I know that Seraphimon is one more to evolve and the chances are you are going to be evolving this. I don't care. If I'm just trying to lower power, I'm going for the Seraphimon. So the question then becomes, well, alright, what's the difference between 4 and 6,000 power? The answer is a lot. You see, 4,000 power will get pretty much any level 3. There's the odd exception, but most of them. It will get a sizable chunk of level 4s, but not all of them, and it basically won't get level 5s. Whereas 6,000 power will get all the level 3s. I want to say all the level 4s, but there might be 1 or 2 very rare exceptions, but I'm fairly sure all the level 4s. And it will get some level 5s, and the level 5s it gets will be few and far between, and the very weakest of them. But still, it will get the odd level 5 here or there. So, Infirmon from Ultimate Power, there we go. There's one example of level 5 you will get here. Now, it is worth bearing in mind, we're lowering power. It's not actually just about deleting Digimon, but we'll get to that bit in a minute. There are other things we can do with this, and we can combine it, and we can get combos and all of that. We will get there. But my point is that if you're just looking for, you know what, I want to delete something, I just want to get a straight deletion on something, there is a big difference in 4 and 6,000 power. You're going from pretty much all level 3s and some level 4s to all level 3s and 4s and the occasional level 5. That is a huge difference. That 2,000 power will dramatically change the range of Digimon that will be automatically deleted here. But it's not just about deletion, because let's say for argument's sake, you're playing a Shine Greymon deck. I kind of like Shine Greymon. Shine Greymon, like the majority of level 6s out there, is an 11,000 power level 6. And you're against, I don't know, War Greymon. I talk about that a lot. Let's go for War Greymon. You're against a War Greymon, also an 11,000 power level 6. Well, you can attack them if they're resting and you can destroy them, but you're both 11,000 power, you'll be destroyed as well. What you really want to do in that situation is you just want to lower power. Doesn't matter how much by. The amount you lower power by is irrelevant. Lowering power by 1,000 is fine. You just want to lower power a little bit. Well, in that case, there's no difference between 4 and 6,000 power. You might as well use Seraphimon. Similarly, you can combine it with, say, the option card Glorious Burst, which gives one of your opponent's Digimon 12,000 less power until the end of the turn. Well, if you want to combine this with Glorious Burst, you will be lowering power by 18,000. And lowering power by 18,000 sounds amazing, and blatantly it is. But why don't we just lower power by 16,000? Like, Omnimon has 15,000 power. So that's going down in one hit quite easily. That's going down. Bye-bye. Do we really need more than 16,000 power? The answer is no. Like, in terms of printed power, and there's all kinds of ways to boost up your power, etc., and that will throw some spanner into the works. It will change the maths around a little bit. But in terms of printed power, Omnimon at 15,000 power is the biggest we've seen. So if I'm playing Glorious Burst and I attack with Seraphimon, bye-bye Omnimon, I don't need this 6,000, and that's kind of my point here. You need to figure out what it is you're actually trying to do, what you're trying to achieve with this power. If you're trying to delete smaller Digimon, then yes, I do think there is a huge difference between the Seraphimon we got in the starter deck and this new Clavisangemon. But if all you're trying to do is lower power a bit to win a fight between level 6s, or combine it with Glorious Burst or things along those lines, then no, I don't think there's a difference, and I am definitely going to play Seraphimon, which will also get the ability in the early game. Because the fact that this only kicks in when your security is 3 or less genuinely worries me. And I know we see this a lot from yellow decks, and I know we can build our yellow decks to kind of take advantage of this. I understand all of that. I know that, we've been talking about Seraphimon a lot. I know that Seraphimon from New Evolution also gained an advantage when you had few security cards remaining. Except it was actually the opposite. If you had 3 or more security, you got security attack +1. So you end up in this weird situation where the New Evolution Seraphimon is great in the early game and then gives way to Clavis Angemon in the late game. And I think this is all a roundabout way of saying I think it's a little bit too specific. I love lowering power by 6,000. I think it is a great skill. It is 50% better than a skill I already liked. But the fact that it only kicks in when you got 3 or fewer security remaining, your opponent, depending on how much pressure you're putting on the board, your opponent can kind of keep you at 4 security and build up for 1 or 2 big turns to take everything down, so you don't even really get the benefit of this skill anyway. It is a skill that sometimes, and it depends on board state and starts and all of that, but it will give your opponent a chance to play around, and you do need to bear that in mind. A fun skill, a good skill, but I honestly don't think I'm going to play it over starter deck Seraphimon. I just don't. Sorry. But there is another card we need to talk about today. It is a vanilla Antilemon. What we've got here is a level 5 vanilla yellow card. And we've got a 7 cost to play normally, 2 cost to evolve, 8,000 power. And you will notice that this looks extremely similar to the Bastamon we looked at, or Beastmon, or whatever you want to call it, that we looked at just a week or so ago? Something like that. It's the same card. It is absolutely the same card. Yes, the names are different, and it's blue rather than yellow, and the art's different, but to all intents and purposes, these are essentially the same card. And what we've basically got here is 7 cost to play normally, which for a level 5 is honestly not that cheap or expensive. It's kind of in the middle. A 2 cost to evolve. Now, to be fair, level 5 should cost 3 cost to evolve, so 2 cost to evolve is pretty good. And 8,000 power, which is fine. Not stunning, to be fair, but fine. It is on the higher end of level 5's power-wise, and it is cheap to evolve, and it's kind of on the lower end cost-wise. It is a decent card in terms of cost-to-power ratio. It's nothing particularly special. Back in New Evolution, we could look at Lodaleomon and go, well, you know what? Lodaleomon's actually kind of nuts, because it's got 10,000 power as a level 5. or 10,000 power as a 7 cost to play normally? And I looked at Clavisangemon and I'm like, yes! And then I look at this card and I'm like, wait, this is a level 5 like Clavisangemon. And it's a 7 cost to play normally like Clavisangemon, but it's got 2,000 less power? Oh, it's 1 cheaper to evolve. I'd rather have the extra 2,000 power if it's all the same to you, mate. So, no, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think this is one we can get particularly excited about either. My apologies. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. New yellow cards. That's what I think. But as always, I would very much like to know what you think. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts. Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk Digimon and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCGradio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.